Hello and welcome to SME TV. I'm your host, Angela Vithoulkas. On Friday, March 13 this year, the economic world as we knew it was about to fall apart. Government handouts used to be only for the unemployed, our vulnerable, students and pensioners. But now they are the only thing keeping some of us going, especially our SMEs. As we begin to revive and restart, how are we feeling now? And what's the plan? You have a plan, right? Well, keep watching. We might be able to help with that. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to support us and all SMEs, and we encourage you to comment. Tell us what you think and share SME TV. Joining us today to help SMEs map a path out of this crisis is Sharon Williams, CEO of Taurus Marketing. Welcome, Sharon.
Hi, Angela. Lovely to be on board.
Thank you so much for coming today and speaking with us. Sharon, you're a successful business owner. Your company, Taurus Marketing, is all about integrated marketing and strategy. You've helped brands reinvent. You've got global experience in all facets of marketing. And you also specialise in crisis messaging and management. What are you feeling out there with SMEs? How much have they got to deal with right now?
Well, for those much younger than me, it's going to be a very hard time out there. I'm old enough to have lived through a few crises, so this is an unparalleled crisis, but it is a crisis, and I've lived through a few before. Those of you who have been through 2000 and the global financial crisis, or been through ill health, will know what it's like when things get tough.
Or the previous recession that we had to have.
Yeah, that's right. So there'll be a mixture of SMEs out there who are hardy and who've saved for a rainy day. There'll be a mixture who are experiencing this for the first time and be completely shattered and devastated, as a piece of me certainly is. And then there's those that will be booming and saying that COVID hasn't been such a bad thing.
But the financial impacts, they're still not real, I think, in some sense, to many SMEs. They haven't quite reached the edge of the cliff.
That's right. And to all of you listening there, and to all the hardships you've been through over the last 4 months, whether you're still in business or whether things have changed, I salute you for getting through this, and we will get through this. And I think we now absolutely, certainly in my business, I had a meeting with my team yesterday to kick off the new financial year, and we are bracing for worse. So if this last 4 months has been tough for you, I would absolutely recommend that you batten down and see through this next 4 to 6 months. And I've got some strategies to help you do that.
Just before we get to that, I feel exactly the same way as you. I think the financial situation is going to get worse for many SMEs. In fact, the economy is going to get another kick because we're being artificially held up a little bit at the moment with the handouts. But I've gotten negative feedback on having that negative feedback. You're being realistic. Some would say it's pessimistic. How are you feeling about sharing the negative message there?
Look, I'm a half cup full person, so I'm also a no bull person.
Yes.
So I'm gonna call it how it is, Angela, and we've got to look after our SMEs, and that's what your and my passion is. So I'm gonna call a spade, which is your style too. So how great for someone to say, be cautious, this is what you need to do and plan and protect you. And then actually it all comes out rainbows and you're even better off. And I would not be saying that I think things are going to be difficult if I didn't believe they were. So I'll put my money where my mouth is, and I am doing exactly what I am about to advise your viewers to do. So I am going to play it very cautious the next 4 months. Very cautious indeed. And
I feel the same. I think that the effect of what's to come in the economy, it's been a great kind of almost test ground for. We've been in lockdown, we're coming out of lockdown. We know what overheads we're up against. We can actually measure them now. We know what money's not coming in because we've already had evidence of that. It really is time to reinforce the barricades just in case the bottom falls out. There's nothing wrong with being ready.
Absolutely. And what a great place to be, that if you've enforced the barricades and then all flags are out and you've won the war and you didn't need to fight, that's only a celebration. That's not a, oh gosh, we got it wrong. That is a really great feeling. So what I want us to do is be fiscally cautious.
Right.
Don't run out and make lots of purchases right now just because we're getting handouts. Save money in the bank, have working capital. Bunker your team that if they're lucky enough to be in jobs right now, which is, by the way, an extraordinary thing at the moment, then they need to be working harder than they've ever worked in their lives right now. And we need to be, as employers, keeping our teams buoyed that, one, they're lucky, two, they're valued, three, that we're all going to get through this together. I mean, my judgment of success at the moment is that I get through this with a company still intact and every single one of those staff members still employed. And
that's the interesting factor. I think for the first time in most business lives, we really are all in this together, because it's going to require the same superhuman effort from our teams and the owners to come together and pool the different types of resources they have. For the teams and the employees, they need to actually put in more effort. They are going to be asked to step up in different ways. And for the owners, for the SME owners and the businesses out there, it's really time for leadership, Sharon, more than ever.
Yeah. Angela, I could not agree with you more. And we put out a newsletter about 2 weeks, and I said exactly that. If leadership has been challenging and tough in the last 4 months, then the real leadership will come through in the next 4 months. And that's really exciting for us, because, when we look in the mirror as SME owners, we are the leader, and we are responsible for everything. And when we look in the mirror every morning, that's the boardroom, and we're facing the board decisions looking back at us in the mirror. And that's a fantastic opportunity. While that's a bit scary at times, it's also very empowering. And out there as business owners right now, all the amazing skills you've got to have got this far. And if things have been tough, there is a way out, and you will find it, and you will get through this.
So if we look at some of the advice or the tools that we're hoping to give SMEs out there for a plan on moving forward and helping them go forward from this crisis. You've talked about cash flow or being fiscally responsible. If you have come across any money, either from a government supplement or you've drawn down on your super, you've had access to different ways of getting some funding, don't be irresponsible with it. Use it to help reinforce moving forward. Get some great advice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so make your accountant your best friend. And if you don't think your accountant's good enough, get a new one. Because what we want to do is the next 3 to 6 months 12 months. And good business practice is to do this anyway. So by the way, all these things I'm saying, these are basic good management strategies. So once you've been through this and you've done it, if you weren't doing it before, you're going to be such a better business owner after this. So have your 12 months budget, have your budget for the next few months to actually work out your in and your out. What days are you likely to be getting paid? What days are you likely to be paying out? What can you get in quickly? What can you slow down to pay out without destroying any relationships? And what do we need to be communicating with our teams to let them know what we've got to do to get through this? So if you think you've been communicating well with your staff and your teams, let me tell you, you need to do better and do more. Right now.
What about in terms of customer relationships? What should we be worrying about there?
Same. Communicate, over communicate. Let those empathy is the new brand currency. Every correspondence you've got now, cut out the corporate speak and speak like humans. Speak from one family to another. There's no time. There's no tolerance for being a corporate and for being in your face trying to sell right now. What we're doing is we are, as Australia, pulling, as you say, Angela, in it together. But what we are is in our networks, we're in it together. So, the minute I saw you doing this, Angela, we're in there to support you, and you're out there now supporting businesses, and we have to bring everybody together and help each other. So I've been looking after my contractors and my suppliers. I mean, I've always been like this, but like their family, and looking after them and making sure they're okay and seeing us through this. And you know what, even if you can't pay a bill all at once, pay it in smaller amounts that you can afford, but don't not pay it. So that's
right. Don't ignore the challenges that are there. Deal with them, whether it's a payment plan of some kind. Everybody's going to be very understanding now. What people don't want to hear is no conversation.
Yeah.
They don't want dead silence.
And particularly calling all guys out there, this is the time not to put your head in the sand. This is the time to actually reach out for help with your mental health, for help with your issues. Talk to your families, talk to your wives, because it's in times like this that, because it's so overwhelming, and I'm really happy to put this out there, that it tends to be a guy thing. You need to talk. And you need to come to solutions. There's too many things going on.
I'm glad you brought up mental health, Sharon, because most of us as SMEs and that have been in business for a long time, and you and I are two of those great examples, I think, you tend to have a lot of courage and you tend to put up a lot of bravado. But what we haven't realised is that this pandemic really has affected us from mental health stress, because there is so much unknown. And for me, it was all about embracing that unknown and saying, look, it's okay that I don't know exactly what tomorrow is going to bring. All I can do is my best for today and mitigate as much as possible. And as soon as I let that go, I felt that I was capable of facing what tomorrow would bring. But I spent a long time at the beginning of the pandemic stressing about the future, even though we were all in the same boat. It wasn't just me. So letting go, but addressing the mental health issue is a really big thing for us as SME owners, because there's, as you said, when you look in the mirror, that's the boardroom. Mm-hmm. There's nowhere else to go with that.
Yeah.
But in terms of where you sit, and that is as an expert in marketing, in fact, you're a global authority on that. What should SMEs be looking at in terms of doing marketing? Should we be upping our spend? Should we be redirecting our marketing strategy, our tactics? What's going on?
Yeah. So I eat my own cooking, Angela, as you know. So what I'm saying is what I'm doing. And right now, Taurus is investing everything we can in marketing. So now is not the time to be quiet. And now is not the time to be shy and humble and retiring and fragile and not around. If you really believe in yourself and your team and your product or your service and what you've done for customers up until now, which by any counts, anyone listening has been extraordinary, then you need to take the bull by the horns and get your brand out there.
No pun intended there.
Absolutely none. That's the way I live, as you know. And the other thing is that the good thing about this, if we can call it good, is that sadly, a lot of businesses have gone under. The positive of that, and you know me, Angela, I'm a half cup full person, is there's less competition out there for what you want to do right now. So you've got
silver lining, you think?
Silver lining. If you're still there, which lots of people aren't, then you have an absolute opportunity to take your space and to elevate your business to the next level. So cash flow planning is first and foremost with accounting. Any marketeer that doesn't get that, doesn't start with that, is not a true business person. So we go for cash flow and protect the business from a financial point of view. And then what I'd love you to do is invest in your brand. Is everything you can possibly think that's good about your brand, elevate that from the rooftops. Increase
how can they do that?
Yeah, so increase your social spend. So turn everything virtual. Everything you can do, turn virtual. Increase your Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn presence. If you thought you were doing it well before, do it better. Do it more and do it better. If you were posting once a day, now post twice a day. If you thought that it was mediocre before, now make it excellent. So virtual is the way to go. Secondly, I'd love you to focus on content. So have a look at your websites and what you're sending out there in terms of either mail deliveries or door knocking, or I'm thinking of local cafes and things and local businesses, or if you're a services business like a plumber or a builder, then what we want to do is look at the content that you're giving out. So newsletters right now, EDMs should be really full of great content. So to work on your virtual social media presence, work on the content you're putting out. When COVID hit, I did a weekly CEO letter to my 8,000 database.
Yes, you did, because I was getting that. And I was often buoyed up by reading it, especially in those moments of true isolation in the very early days, where we really had no contact with anyone. We weren't really doing business. We were trying to, but we didn't know where it was all going to go. Yeah. So messaging, getting your message out there and just connecting with people, it is going to be a way of elevating.
Yeah, it is. And we had a 30% open rate on that, and it went to 8,000. So that's pretty extraordinary. So what we're doing is we're giving, we're helping, we've got lots of experience that we can share for free. And so what I'd love as small business owners is to do what we're famous for. We do the extra mile. We do the extra mile over and above the big corporates. We are the backbone of Australia. Yep. And we're the ones that have got our family homes and our families on the line for our clients. And so what I'm asking SMEs now to do is don't shy back from that. Fill your boots and go and do what you are so famous and well known for doing.
So it really is about that cheesy word that we used to use, which is about, authentic engagement. It really is about that though now. There's room in the market for that. There's room in the market for the SMEs to come forward and stand up and be proud of who they are, what they do, and shine the light on their operations and where they stand in the SME community. More importantly, of course, the other side of business isn't just about your brand, it's about managing the business. So we know that making a financial plan is very important if we're going to weather the storm, and redirecting or reassessing where those funds need to go, which is back into marketing in order to elevate the brand and take a hold of some of that market that might have been cleared. I mean, it's very sad for anyone that has lost their business, and you and I both know what that feels like. But the silver lining is that there is an opportunity there to get a new market share. And Sharon, you tell me, my opinion is that there's a chance here for SMEs to take a bit of the market back from big companies who aren't going to be able to do this very well.
Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. One of the things that's going to happen with COVID, or what's COVID done for us, is everything that was going to happen in about 7, 8, 10 years' time has fast-tracked to now.
Yes.
So the mistrust of big organizations, the need for cutting out some of the processes we've been putting up with for years, that's all been fast-tracked to now. So what I want us to remember is that there is a database out there of people who've loved you and bought from you before. While you may not be able to give them the same thing that you used to if your business has gone down, those people still love and trust you and will buy from you if you give them something new. So the relationship is important above and beyond the name of your business or what you used to do.
No, that's right. That's right. Sharon, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sorry we have run out of time. We appreciate your time. We know that we'll be getting you back, and hopefully you'll be back in the studio with us as well next time that we get you in. Please remember, to everyone out there, don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch us as well, share SME TV, I should say. And of course, a big shout out to the SME Association for backing us all the way and making this channel possible. I'm sure we'll catch up soon, Sharon. Thank you to you, and thank you to our viewers.
Thank you.